Welcome back. Africa is quickly emerging as the hub of global crypto adoption as the technology goes down from developed economies towards emerging markets. Now, according to the 2022 Global Crypto Adoption Index by Chainalysis, 3 African nations are among the top 20 countries using cryptocurrencies and associated services. That's Nigeria, Morocco, and Kenya. Crypto adoption had a significant positive impact in emerging markets where financial inclusion levels were relatively low. Now, Chi Nadi, co-founder and chief executive officer at Mara, joins me now with more insights. Good afternoon, Chi. It's good to have you.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Now, according to the report, the report I just mentioned or made allusion to, the 2022 Global Crypto Adoption Index shows that Nigeria, Kenya, and Morocco are among the top 20 countries using cryptocurrencies. What do you think is the attraction here?
Well, I think it's a very exciting time for the adoption of cryptocurrencies. What you ask what the attraction here, what we're seeing in that data is that it's not only African countries, but really emerging market and frontier countries, countries that have very young populations, because crypto is the investment class for the future. So you're finding that in countries with very young population, people are being drawn to digital assets as a way of securing their economic future, and also as a mechanism or platform for building solutions to solve problems in their countries. And that's why we find it. So we find adoption happening in usually countries that have a young population and are usually emerging in frontier countries, like for us here in Nigeria.
So how do you think African users can minimize the risk? Because now that we're having a widespread usage of this, how can you think the risk can be minimized, especially when using digital finance wallets?
Yeah. I mean, this is a new paradigm, a new playing field, and it's important to work with trusted wallets. One of the things that we've prioritized at Mara from the beginning is customer service. 24 hours, there will be someone there to receive your email, to help you through to help you through your ticket or through the issue that you're dealing with that day on the platform. And historically, crypto has had a problem with customer service. And we set out to make sure that problem is solved. Because if we're going to make sure that all of us are owning a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum, and that Africans, as we don't get left behind as this revolution happens, we've got to make the adoption of it and purchasing of those assets as easy and simple and as trustworthy as possible. And that's something we prioritize at Mara.
Yeah, so you talked about how huge crypto is right now, especially in Africa. The adoption is we can't even, it's mind-blowing. What role do you think these currencies, the digital currencies, will play or are playing to fight inflation, which is skyrocketing right now in Africa and across the world as it is?
Yeah, it's not a coincidence that it's countries that have young populations, that have inflation issues and such, that crypto adoption is the highest. One of the types of crypto digital assets are stablecoins, where the digital asset is one-to-one backed with the US dollar. And so people are finding that as a way to protect their savings, to go from local currency into this digital currency. So one is called Tether, another one is called USDT. These are assets that by holding them, you're holding US dollars, which allows you to alleviate the inflation that we're receiving in our local currencies. And so in a way, it's savings protection for people. So you take your Naira and you put it into these stable coins as a way of preserving your wealth.
No, but we've seen this relationship where when the dollar strengthens, cryptocurrencies fall. So how does it serve as a hedge right now against inflation if the crypto coin is dropping? Can you expatiate on that?
Yeah, so just to parse between some of the definitions that we're working with here, not what I just described before is a stable coin that is also cryptocurrency. It's not inflationary or deflationary. It's stable because it's backed one-to-one with regular fiat cash. Okay. And so at times like this, what people are doing is those are the cryptocurrencies that they're attracted to. the ones that aren't volatile, the ones that preserve wealth. And so most of folks are going into those assets. It's also, and to speak about the volatility you're talking about, I've been in crypto since 2010, right? So I've seen up and down, and this is what happens when we're bringing a new asset class into society as society starts to develop and accept it. And so I would say that right now is a great time to get into stable cryptos that to preserve your wealth, like a USDC or a Tether, a stable coin. But it's also a great time to actually start accumulating crypto as well for the long run. As you can imagine, I've seen it go from $1 to $100, back to $1 to 1,000, and it's about the important thing is that Africans, we can't get left behind. There's a very famous book called Homo Deus that I read in 2016 that said that whenever there's a new technology, it's always the countries that are the poorest that are left behind. And I remember reading that book and realizing that there was no way that Africa was going to get left behind when it came to blockchain technology. And those are the driving reasons why we started Mara. So I would say to people that this is a chance of a lifetime, this revolution that's taking place, and Africa is the future. We're the future, so we should be the ones driving this conversation.
Thanks so much, Che Nnadi. Hoping that cryptocurrency continues to disrupt the financial space and, bring more financial inclusion to young Africans who've been excluded for a long time. Thank you so much, Che Nnadi, for joining us. He's the CEO at Mara and co-founder at Mara as well. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you.